Now, I have another responsibility, and that's to introduce our student speaker. And this is a new addition to our program in the last couple of years. And it is a great pleasure to introduce today our student speaker, Nicole Jadue. I always try to get that right. Nicole came to Duke with a medical degree and 2 years of experience as a family physician in a nonprofit clinic in one of the poorest neighborhoods in her hometown of Santiago, Chile, where she provided care to thousands of families. Now, while at Duke, Nicole became a resident and leader in the Oak Creek Village community in Durham, where many of the residents are refugees from Asia, Africa, and South America. She is part of a Dwell team of 12 volunteer leaders whose mission is to engage with community members on a personal level, acting as leaders, mentors, advocates, and friends. Nicole recently received the Distinguished Leadership and Service Award from the Duke Student Affairs Office in recognition of her work with Dwell. And for her master's thesis, Nicole studied the influence of gender and power on choice and uptake of long-acting contraceptives in Haiti. She will stay in Durham for 1 year to run a project through a local church that will provide outreach to the underserved, undocumented, and marginalized groups. She wanted to invest further in this community because she feels that they've deeply invested in her. As professors at Duke, and particularly in global health, we are often impressed and frequently blown away by our students' commitment to their work and passion in our field. Nicole is certainly no exception. Please join me in welcoming Nicole.
Hello, everyone. Well, congratulations, friends. Today we share the joy of having received the blessing of an education that allows us to wake up from a very long dream, a dream many of our fellow loved ones and a lot of people across the world are still experiencing. Today we're celebrating awareness. Awareness that came with a cost. For some, I know it was the cost in less time with their new spouse. For others, it was a material family investment your parents made. For others, it might have been like an emotional roller coaster of endurance. The sacrificial nature of this process of becoming aware was experienced not only by us students, but also involved faculty, involved staff, friends, and family. Just imagine Liz's sleepless nights recording the qualitative methods videos, or Dr. Stewart wondering at night why we didn't proofread our weekly essay, or even Lisa McKean waking up to a full inbox of emails with the questions that were clearly, repeatedly said were detailed in the handout. Whatever it was, there was sacrifice. And the sacrificial nature of this process has a tremendous value, and it shouldn't be forgotten. There is a lot more that was invested than just money, and that is what we told ourselves frequently in the student lounge. This awakening we have experienced has helped us to prepare for one hard task, pursuing justice. Now we have a few new ideas and maybe different perspectives on how to promote the right use of power, allowing us to question and explore the roles we play in this great challenge. We are officially stewards of new responsibilities. The sacrificial nature of this 2-year process can help us embody and reappraise everything we do. Hopefully, this master's is not a ticket to get straight into the next career step we envisioned and ignore the world around us. Our gained awareness is specifically about how we get to places and how we build or destroy things in the process. This journey has not only invited us to reconsider ethics in research, or study designs, or dissemination and advocacy with the data we produce. I believe this awakening invites us to dive a little deeper and get dirty in the mud, not just give directions from the sidelines. What this might mean, and what this process convinced me of, is that global health policy is not the answer. I know that statement is like a low blow for Dr. Yemi and all the policy professors that have invested so much in us, teaching us daily, and yes, I'm very, very sorry. But I promise that this doesn't mean that I haven't learned anything, hopefully. It just means that they challenged us, and hopefully all of us, to realize that policies are just not enough. The awareness that comes with our global health citizenship has a cost, a sacrifice, just as the nature of this 2-year process. Everyone's sacrifice is a reminder and has all the meaning in the world. It should force us to question not only the evidence-based interventions for bringing justice and health, but also which structures and values we are endorsing every day with our lives. Sometimes we thrive, maybe even politely, to condemn industries that are not pursuing justice with either environmental regulations or even discriminatory practices that hurt the poor. But this whole process of awakening has found me questioning a few things that hopefully will resonate with you too. I've been asking myself, is my money going to places that fuel those injustices I condemn? Am I being a responsible good steward for not only my work, which is hopefully breaking structural injustices and systematic forms of inequities, but also with my life, even my groceries, the clothing brand I am investing money in? Is my work ethic, my life ethic, am I really walking the walk? Or are we really talking the talk or just preaching from the pulpit from 8 to 5 p.m. every day on a weekday? What happens when we see the $2.99 strawberries on sale? Just great, straight to the cart? What about the underpaid, uninsured farmer behind those strawberries? Farmer that now we are aware is at a higher risk of toxic chemical injuries, skin disorders, parasitic infections, TB, and other poor outcomes for their children, just to name a few. Or even further, thinking about the future, closer to 30, thinking of your retirement fund. Have you found yourself worried of not putting all your eggs in the same basket, like me? Or maybe oblivious and not worried at all, wherever you are, 30, 50, late 70s, this educational process invites us all to rethink the baskets where those eggs would be nestled. And then we must decide if sacrificially we believe in justice, in global health policies, and if we are committed to building up the health of our fellows in other parts of the world that might be producing our food and sustaining our economies. A true global partnership. This starts in our pantry, our 1OK, or maybe yours because I don't have one, our closets. But hopefully this commitment battles to be in tune with the same things that guide our IRB submissions, the fair wages we establish in our field sites, the just interventions we struggled to develop, all while conducting one of our studies. All of these hope to be translated into daily choices, which reflect our commitment with the health of this world. Choices which sacrificially are now being made outside of the work setting. For those who have the privilege of being a little more aware, which means everyone in this room, even student, parent, or friend, we are invited to question wealth, including justice, relationships, service, and love, and not just reduce it to the bottom line of profit. All of these have a greater value, are truly sustainable, bear good fruit, are not only for the individual, but for the collective. This new challenge helps us to enter the labor force without the false dichotomy of working for the profit sector that exists to make money and the nonprofit sector that benefits the common good of society. This awakening for justice invites us to redetermine the importance of businesses as a vehicle for meaning, for purpose, for reconciliation, for economic independence, and the flourishing of people and the environment. For some reason, policies do not seem a matter of the heart, making it hard to believe that global health policies would cure the aches of this world. But our policies, our evidence, our projects are an invitation to publicly extend beliefs that we carry in our daily lives. And I trust that was the major lesson this program had to offer to all of us. Suggesting that countries can fund the Great Convergence with 1% of their GDP, as we heard continuously in class, seems fairly easy. But reconsidering our personal choices and how they embody the global world and its health is talking the talk and walking the walk. The global burden of disease is a heavy burden, a burden that makes many weary, but maybe we're not awakened to take the burden of the world, but only one yoke that is easier to carry, that fits, and yes, it might be a brutal weight, but somehow seems like worthy of carrying it. I'm not sure what the sacrificial dimension of global health you were awakened to embody. I know I'm still navigating mine, but hopefully 2 years of academic sacrifice with financial investment, with emotional investment, with time investment will remind us that a global health career should look exactly like that. Daily sacrificial love for the sake of justice being exercised in our work and practiced with our choices. So friends, this is too many years of joyful sacrifice, fueled by love for others, that bears fruit for people and grants all of us healthier lives. So to global health.